I didn't come out worrying about this because I was no longer myself, but an instrument of extraordinary process.
At the Harcourt Butler Technological Institute in Cambridge, with 100.
वहाँ का माहौल बड़ा अच्छा रहता था। जहाँ वहाँ पर ये नहीं पता लगता था कौन डायरेक्टर है, कौन प्रोफेसर है, कौन सब लोग इतना एक दूसरे को चाहते थे, इसका कोऑर्डिनेशन अच्छा था, वो लोग बड़ा प्यार देते थे। भला कि लोग वहाँ की वॉइस कम चले।
We had a hostel was a textile institute, model hospital, which could house about like 70 some people.
Dr. Kilter now turned his attention to finding young faculty who would be open to his ideas about teaching engineering. The early faculty then
We have just given one floor of
from national famous, but then I have no reason to be afraid of him. And it also gave me the impression that he wanted to learn from the young people like me, rather than hand over knowledge, perception, and doubt.
Rahul.
My favorite out of this classroom, you have to submit
You
back, and I'm so glad I saw it a year back because the president met his picture. So nice. And I got it. I joined PDA and I left. I forget to. I
The first institute was established in 1951 and Hungary is not
At that time, there was nothing more here on this campus. We used to study HBTI. We used to have classes in HBTI. Later on, a workshop was made here. And in that workshop, everything was housed. Like director's office, all the professors, all the departments, all the professors, all the research scholars, library, post office, everything was there in the workshop. And then slowly that Western lab came, and then we got stationed here. We used to come here in by bus from HBTI. We have to take a bus from HBTI and we used to come here. At that time, now those who are from Kanpur can see this road overflooded with vehicles. But at that time, I used to feel scared on going on that road because there was nothing on both the sides. There was jungle and jungle and jungle. That I'm trying to give you a picture of that time. When I joined here in physics department, I was the only girl. When my interview was happening, they asked me, "You will be the only girl in this institute. Won't you feel uncomfortable?" I said, all through my life, I have been the only girl. Because at that time, no girls used to study maths. The girls were very scared of maths. They used to go for biology. So in those days, in intermediate colleges, the co-education was not allowed. Either all girls or all boys. But I had to study maths. I approached people, higher authorities, and I was allowed in a boys' college to study maths. So I was all alone again. So that way, then after doing my intermediate, BSc was ordered. BSc in Navy College, that was ordered. MSc was also alright. But again, I was the only girl because nobody did physics as a MSc. From the university itself, in Agra University, that time there was no Kanpur University. There was only Agra University. I was having good marks. I passed the first division and everything, but the physics department was denying me the admission. And the chemistry department on the other hand was saying that if she takes admission or studies chemistry, she will get a first division definitely, but she may get it with her name in merit also. So one side they were saying she will fail, another side they were assuring a merit. But I have chosen this side. I said no, I will do physics. 1 month I went to the MSc chemistry classes, and after that I went to the head of the physics department, and I asked him that in the syllabus is it written the girls are not allowed. So he laughed. He gave a laugh, and he said, "You come from tomorrow to the department and your admission will be done." So after 1 month I went and studied. I can't forget that moment when I entered my class. The teacher who was teaching physics, he looked at me from top to bottom. Fail on But I said no, I had taken the challenge. And in MSc first year, when I got first divisional marks, then they also said, नहीं लड़की तो मेहनत कर लेगी, हमको पता था. And then I did my MSc. Then I thought it will be about Padilla. Then I thought I will teach for 1 year. I taught in a local college. But then I wanted to.
Hi, can you see me? Yeah, I can hear you. Hi, it's Swati here. I just joined this session because I'm in Switzerland, so.
Swati ka photo liya hai.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, so what has been done so far? I will tell you the breaks and then back with the panel discussion which is scheduled. So let us see how it goes.
Yeah. Swati, the first lady graduated from IIT Kanpur. She is giving a talk. Can you please talk later?
Are you able to hear her?
Are you able to hear?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah, Swati. So please, she is continuing. Okay.
Yes, you can continue, ma'am.
Where was I? I wanted to take it. I wanted to.
You won't teach for a while. You will teach for a while.
I wanted to teach for a while, and when I went for the interview for the boys' college, there the chairperson of the selection committee said, "How will you control the boys? You are at that time I was not this. I was like this. So he said, "How will you control the boys?" I said, "If you can take guarantee of another male member you are going to choose, if he can take, he can control boys, so can I. If you take his, the other person who was chosen at that time, when there used to be a noise in the highest class, I used to go and control them because I knew their mentality. They are boys. A lady scolding a boy, now." And they will feel very hurt that this is what has happened. So that 1 year I taught. Then I came to know of IIT Kanpur. I came here for PhD. And then at that time I was the tempered student of this place, being only ladies. Because many times this used to happen, there used to be one bus coming and one bus going. IIT bus. There was no other common. I suppose I miss the bus again. I will just walk in director's room or deputy director's room and they will arrange a vehicle for me. When I was there and I was a day scholar. There was no girls' hostel at that time. I used to bring my khana. There was no place to eat inside the bay where we were sitting. The boys were also sitting. So I used to feel, if I offer to everybody, that is not possible. So I went to the deputy. I said, "Sir, it is very difficult for me to eat my lunch." So the next day, you will not believe it. Next day.
I can't hear properly. I think something wrong with the. Yeah, you really. I cannot hear it. I cannot hear what's going on.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Yes,
But I cannot hear what is she saying.
You can hold the mic, ma'am.
So what happened? Next day.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Next day there was a room, full furnished room, attached toilet, a dressing room, and a peon, and two working tables, a sofa set, and two almirahs. These were handed over to me. Now, Sushma, you can meet your original. So there are many stories of this kind I can share with you, but I think time is.
We want to hear how you met the guy sitting right behind you.
Yes, another question before that. So, ma'am, during the time when women were not allowed to come out, they were not really exploring what they wanted to do, and there were a lot of family restrictions and stuff like that. What was your motivation or who was your motivation?
My father was my motivation because my father used to say that मैं अपनी लड़कियों को पढ़ाऊंगा. And for me, because I don't think that I am trying to praise myself. I used to come first in my class always. So she used to say that this boy of mine, this daughter of mine will study. And my all our elder sisters, you will not believe, my eldest sister, I was only 2 years of age when she was married. But she was a graduate. My parents were there. My father died when I was in class 9. But my mother said, no, I will continue their studies. They will not stop. So my family was very supportive. My mother was very supportive. My mother did herself intermediate. I taught her. Wow. She said, I want to do it. I want why? So he said, she said, no, I want to do it. And I taught her English. Amazing. So my family was very supportive.
Madam, I have one question. How do you met the son?
That I will You see, when I was working for my PhD, my computer program was very lengthy, as lengthy as 5 times the memory available at that time on system. So, what to do? For that, we had to dig out some assembly language routines, which will take less time, less space, and so we had to learn assembly language. At that time, there was nobody to support us from the computer center staff. I think there is nobody here. So we have learned that thing. I have learned that thing, and I was trying to write some software to accommodate my program in the memory of the computer. At that time, he was also having this kind of a problem. He went to that time, there were American professors who used to come. Jerry Johnson, he went to Jerry Johnson and he said that he is having this kind of problem. He said there is a girl like a lenient thin girl, Miss Bhatnagar, in physics department. You go and talk to her. He came and he talked to me about, at that time, let me tell you frankly, I never used to like him. I used to think that he talks a lot to us. But then we started working together. When we started working together, we never knew that it will work into this. We started working together, we published papers together, and then it was done like this. And one day, all through our relationship, we never thought that we are going to marry. We are friends, we are very good friends. But one day something sparked, and he decided, and that very moment we decided that is how we got married. And when I was expecting my first child, whole physics department was feeling as the physics department is going to have a grandchild. At that time, there was faculty was less, so we used to take tutorials, sometimes lectures also. Labs we were supposed to take always. So at that time, my head of the department told everybody that Sushma ko nahi dena hai. Don't give anything to her, no work. His wife was there in library, she used to have in library. She used to say, the journals are at 3rd floor. Sushma, you will not climb this stairs. You give me the name of the journal, I will go and take it. He used to get scoldings from him like anything, that why are you taking her on the back of a scooter? What we used to do is that we knew that at what time he comes. We used to change our route to reach the department so that he doesn't see us coming on the scooter. So that was the atmosphere. At that time the atmosphere was very lovely. We never applied for a leave. I gave birth to a child. I never took maternity leave. I gave birth on 17th of Feb, my first child, cesarean, and on 1st March or 2nd March I started working. I I went to the from the department from the computer center to the hospital. When I was there in the computer center, they were saying, what are you doing? At that time I felt that I have to go to the hospital. I went directly from the computer center to the hospital. Because that work, we were doing work. That was our work. We were loving the work. We never wanted to take chutti. We were not taking the chutti. We were never taking the chutti. So that is what it is. That was the atmosphere they gave us. They never asked me to take any leave. They never asked me where I am. What they wanted to work. And what I wanted to do was the work. That is what it is. But you see, there was one another thing at it. That time, today the director has said that they want to appoint couples. That time they were not allowed. When we went from here, after finishing PhD, we went from Alumni Muslim University to teach. I was teaching there physics and he was teaching computer science. Then he got a job here in computer center as the operation manager. I had to tag along. Wife has to tag along. No option left. I had to tag along. Then I came here and asked the director. I asked the director, see, now what will I do? He says, you divorce again. I will give you a job. I said, no, you keep your job with you. I will keep my family with me. So I started looking here and there. I got a job in PPM college. I didn't accept it. Then I got a job in SBI. Veena knows it. But I didn't accept it. I was doing postdoctoral work over here with various professors, various departments. Then I was looking after this class project. It was in Mrs. Gandhi's dream, the computer literacy in schools, secondary schools. That project I was looking after, and that gave me quite a bit of satisfaction because I was doing something for the schools. Because Professor J.N. Kapoor, those who are from the mass will know Professor J.N. Kapoor. Professor J.N. Kapoor and Professor Rajaraman, they said that if you don't improve your schools, then how you expect good students to come in the IIT? I started doing that work. At that time I got inspiration for writing books in Devanagari, because most of the Hindi speaking schools are there. So I started writing in books on computers in Devanagari. One more thing I want to say, IIT Kanpur gives you a training. Based on that training, you can do anything you like. Anything you like. I have changed physics, from physics to computers. He has also changed from physics to computers, and we did quite well. At that time when I was doing PhD, there was nothing called computer science. There was nothing called computer science. But we had to do the things ourselves, find things ourselves. Then afterwards I was teaching because I thought I should do something for my parent university as well. So for Kanpur University, I joined the Kanpur University Engineering College as an honorary faculty. There I was teaching. There I started the whole program, and at that program I wanted to keep at par with IIT. But the point is this: there we won't find the faculty like IIT. So similar to IIT, I kept all syllabus was from here, grading system was from here, discipline was from here, quizzes, everything was from here. So till now, that I hope, because I have left in 2007. Till now, my friends are there. Most of the ladies are going from here only. Wives are going from here only to teach there. So that standard is still better than the private engineering colleges. So there are so many stories to share, but I think I will stop here, and it's time also for 1 o'clock. Listening me so patiently. Otherwise,
Thank you very much, ma'am. It's indeed a pleasure to have you with us here. We are maybe 2 generations away, and we have so much to learn. I think, more than IIT, I'm sure you would agree that experience teaches us a lot more. So, thank you so much. Sure.
Ma'am, are you still working?
No, I have taken retirement from engineering college. speaking well. Because I thought enough is enough. Because my priority is my family, not my family.
Thank you very much. So Ashwini ji, aap. Oh, he's gone. Okay. So we will now go through our online attendees and
We have the attendees Aparna, Neeru Mohan, Pooja, Swati.
So we have Aparna, Neeru Mohan, Pooja and Swati Gupta.
Neeru Mohan.
So shall we ask, whom shall we ask to speak first? Neeru Mohan? Are you there? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Okay, so I think I can see Pooja. Pooja, can you tell us something about yourself? Can you hear me? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Pooja Gupta. I'm from class of 2006.
Okay.
I'm currently working with Tata Steel in Mumbai.
Okay.
And I couldn't come because of some personal commitment. I was really looking forward to coming over to that time and to that class.
That is so sweet. That is so sweet. So that is amazing. So we all want to say hi to your son.
Hi. She may have some questions and she can come to what we have about it. I'm just telling you, I can put the teach of one and then
I can hear somebody else speak. I don't know who that is.
we won't get that every card to get but it will not be operational
I can hear somebody else. So hi Pooja and hi to your cute little baby there. And thank you so much for joining with us online. Is there anybody else online? Aparna?
Swati.
Aparna and Swati, I think we overheard all your discussions. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. We heard that you were discussing about exchanging emails and phone numbers and leaving us all out. We are here still waiting for you. Can one of you introduce yourselves? Can we start with Aparna, please? So Aparna's first. Can we hear from Swati now? Yes, Swati, go ahead. We can hear you.
It's a banding product.
Swati, we are not able to hear you clearly.
can proceed for lunch. Yeah. So please accept and facilitate us. So that we can hear them properly and they can hear us properly.
See, Veena, why don't you talk to them? See, I've been trying to coordinate that with them for a while. To explain, it will be nice if you can just explain to them what is happening. They might really see, when you're sitting somewhere and you really don't know what is happening here, it might be irritating and also, inconvenient. No, then you will not be able to have lunch.
Lunch, 1 to 2, because the GH slot is there. Otherwise, the GH will not offer the lunch.
So, Swami and Aparna, I'm once again really sorry. I apologize. There is some technical problems because of which we are not able to hear you clearly, and we might have to break for lunch right now. We will try to connect back with you once.
आप लोग यहीं से हैं?
Women scientists globally recognized. And we are also waiting for the DM, Honorable.
She'll be a little late.
She will be a little.
Some engagement, but she will come. We'll now start with Saraswati Vandana, Sunita Mishra.
On the way, so
distinguished guests, faculty and students, welcome to this very first Women Alumni Convention of IIT. We would like to build a permanent structure to empower women to meet the social and economic challenges. Women have been very low in numbers on IIT campuses.
Of Stanford is also going to address us. We'll also have Professor Ila Nagar, who is here. She'll also address us and give us a keynote speech. We also have a virtual platform through which people are listening to this program, and I don't know with this technology what is actually happening. We will have a panel discussion on Make in India campaign of our Prime Minister. We'll deliberate on ways to ensure the participation of IIT women in the campaign. We also have another session, Chai Pe Charcha, where the topic would be how to balance home and professional life. We'll also discuss on how to raise a corpus for giving an annual award to a woman alumni. Taking out a 6-monthly magazine themed on women, raising fund for educating a girl child, or raising a scholarship for funding the studies of a needy girl on the campus. So these are the 3 agenda items we'll discuss on the child care. We'll also have a quiz on IIT to test our knowledge of IIT. There's a photo gallery that is outside. Take a look. We'll also take you around and to various departments. We have a cultural program in the evening and followed by let me quote from Sandberg, who is COO of Facebook. She gave a TED talk. She was answering the question how to change this data that I just talked about. And she said 3 things. It's like 7 minutes talk.
Audio clear? Audio.
Very respected women alumni of IIT Campus. My colleagues from this institute and delegates who have come here for this particular. At the very outset, on behalf of the institute and on my personal behalf, I wish to welcome you all to this very unique event, and possibly which is going to happen for the first time. So that gives me an opportunity to congratulate the Alumni Association, the Office of the Dean of Resources and Alumni, in particular from the alumni side, Dr. Mrs. Vanita Srivastav and Professor Veena Vansal and all those who are very actively associated with this function. We never thought of it before, and though it is late, it is never too late to begin. So I'm very happy that all of you have taken this initiative to recognize a very numerically small but enormously potential and a very important constituent of the greater IIT Kanpur family. I was just yesterday evening, after talking to Mr. Srivastav, I asked my secretary to collect some data, and I would like to share that with you. And this would certainly read some very interesting figures. We basically, you're aware that as a background, all of you are aware that we exist on a piece of land which measures about 1,055 acres. We began with about 1,200 acres, but a portion of that was given by the wish of the government to a company which is now doing well. And we are a community which basically comprises the faculty, staff, students, and of course those who live inside the campus, the family members. So we are talking about something of a mini township of about 12,000 people living in this campus of this 1,050 acres. Going by numbers, at the moment we have 408 faculty members, which includes of course a few who are on a visiting role, on a contractual role. We have approximately 6,300, little over 6,000, maybe 6,500 students, and about close to 600 staff members. We also have about 700 project staff. In addition, the institute is very routinely served by a community of about 3,500 contract laborers. A section of the staff, the faculty, and even scholars, they live with their family inside the campus. So that gives me an opportunity to welcome Dr. Roshan Jacob, our designate. Yeah, I think you come straight, as a penalty of arriving late, you come straight to the dais.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Well, let me just mention as a passing remark, Dr. Jacob has also a connection to IIT Kanpur. Her father-in-law is an alumnus of this place. To come back to the main event that I was trying to say, that if I go by the PhD scholars, at the moment the institute has about 1,400 PhD scholars. 1/3 of them is women. But if I look at the undergraduate and postgraduate level, at the undergraduate level, this is 10%, less than 10%, and at the postgraduate level, this is about 20%. So going by numbers, the share of students, female students, increases as we go to higher level, and at the PhD level, it is about 1/3, which certainly is good compared to many other institutions, but there's a lot more desired. About the faculty members, we have only about 5% who are women in our role. About the staff, it's about 12 to 15%, and about project staff is about 30%, which is a very decent number. But please remember that these project staff are essentially on the roll, on a temporary role. Among the alumni, I'm sure the Alumni Association will give you data, but this number is obviously, you just heard, the PhD community is fairly recent phenomenon. The undergraduate community with which the institute started way back in 1959, the share of female students those days obviously was much, much smaller. Much smaller than even maybe hardly 1 or 2%. In fact, only recently, I think in last maybe 10 or 15 years, we felt the need of creating a new hostel. But now we can proudly say that we actually are having more than 2 hostels, including a tower, and it's overflowing. So the female student community is swelling, and this is certainly a good indication. But why is it so? If I may now address that particular event. Why is it that at the undergraduate level it is less than 10%, it's postgraduate about 20%, at the PhD slightly better. But why is it not nearly 50? You all are aware that entry to IIT is through a very rigorous admission test. So obviously we cannot pick up just because somebody has a particular qualification. One has to qualify through the designated test. So there's hardly anything the institute can do to improve this particular ratio. But this ratio as a whole for the whole country is bound to improve only when we pay our attention to the bottom of the pyramid. If we really want the growth to occur in terms of participation from the female community in our educational sector, then we must have a very robust and all-pervading primary education system which will allow every single child of the country to reach up to a certain minimum level of education. When you empower the entire population up to a certain level, then obviously the aspirations for higher education is bound to grow. And when that grows, someday we'll reach a situation which perhaps exists in some of the Scandinavian countries, where the number of women employees in a given organization outnumber the number of male employees in that particular place. But that's a long way off. The society cannot be changed overnight. It requires very concerted effort from all quarters. But what we are able to do within this campus, we must do that. Now, there are various issues related to the gender. Now, there are a few positive actions that the Institute has taken in the recent past, which I would like to share with you. For example, we have created a cell called Women's Cell. Earlier, there used to be a committee. The very name was very atrocious because the name said atrocities against women or something, as if everybody is out here to do a crime against a woman. So we took a conscious decision to rename that and reconstitute this whole committee, and now we call it a Women's Cell. And the overall purview of this Women's Cell is not only to take action when something has happened, but this cell is empowered to advise the Institute about proactive and positive measures which will make this campus, this community, a safer and a more gender equitable society. The Institute is very keen to hire faculty members. You might be reading once in a while in newspapers that we have plenty of vacancies. While we hire faculty members, we certainly do not compromise with the quality. But one thing we have decided, that if there is an opportunity to hire a spouse, a couple, both the husband and wife are equally qualified or can be accommodated within the system, we would certainly prefer such. There's also an inherent hidden agenda in that. Kanpur is not one of the best destinations for the faculty members or the researchers willing to come and join an IIT system. We lose many prospective faculty members to IITs located in the metropolitan cities like Bombay or Delhi or Madras. But if a couple joins, it's very unlikely they would leave, because to get the job for both of them in another IIT may not be that easy. So we took a conscious decision that if we can get hold of couples who are well qualified, we would prefer to hire both of them. We also have realized that today we are in a society where very few women actually, first of all, most of them are very well qualified, and there are very few who are willing to sit at home and be only a homemaker. Everybody has certain ambitions and aspirations, and we should create a community here which can actually honor that and enable them to pursue their ambitions. So many of them work here on various capacities as project staff, as regular staff, as scholars, as postdoctorates, and so on. And taking care of their children during the daytime, the younger ones, becomes a huge problem for the couple. So we have very recently created a so-called creche or a daycare center. We also have several schools in the campus and several other organizations where we can employ the spouses. The Institute also created a provision recently, the so-called hall guardians. And the philosophy is very simple, that those who tender and raise children at home, taking care of our younger section of the society, the students, particularly the undergraduates, should come naturally to them. So by way of creating this community of hall guardians, we believe that some of our faculty spouses could actually be useful to the community. But these are certain measures I thought I would share with you, which actually we believe would make this campus more attractive for overall growth and also for our community to take part in all kinds of developmental activities. But to come back to the core issue of women faculty, I think all of us would continue to address this issue. Why is the number small and why can it not be equitable? But there's no immediate answer or solution to that. All I wish to say is that the Institute is very keen to promote all kinds of avenues which will attract greater number of or greater participation of women in our activities, be it at the research level or at initial undergraduate, postgraduate level, or in the management of the Institute. I would request the organizers to think of creating a directory of the women alumni. The number of our total alumni community has probably reached about 30,000. Maybe the Dean's office would know it better. So it's time we should create a directory of the women alumni. I'm particularly happy today to see some of our very illustrious women alumni from our community, Professor Bhatnagar and Professor Tiwari, Dr. Tiwari. I was told that about 50 alumni are expected. I don't know whether the number is, doesn't matter whether the number is 5 or 50, but at least those of you who have taken the trouble to come here, Institute is indebted to you that you managed to come, that you decided to come and you decided to take part in this event. And Institute certainly would appreciate if you, before leaving today or tomorrow, you collect your thoughts and give us your feedback as to how we can make this place more attractive and a better place for the participation from the women members of the community, and how overall the IIT system can actually create a situation whereby the number of female students in our fold can increase, without, of course, compromising with any of the prevailing rules and regulations. I would also like to hear your experiences from your memory, down memory lane. I'm sure all of you would carry certain very interesting and might be even hilarious experiences which you might like to recall. And we all would like to learn from you how you felt during your days here. And compared to your days, I strongly believe that the situation here is now much better, at least in terms of the facilities and amenities. But certainly a lot more remains to be done, and we would like to take your advice, take your opinion, and take it forward. So I don't want to prolong my address. I again would like to very deeply acknowledge the initiatives taken by the Alumni Association, particularly the section of Alumni Association responsible for this event. I'm also very happy that the Dean's Office actually took active role, and as I always mention that to make a beginning is very easy, to sustain is a lot difficult. So if we have made a beginning, then we should have a good roadmap as to how we can sustain this kind of an organization or this kind of an event and make it more vibrant and more effective. So thank you very much again, and wish you a very fruitful and enjoyable stay here. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Manna. We have among us Dr. Roshan Jacob. You know, I'm almost like shivering saying Dr. Roshan Jacob. She is like, huh? No, okay, no, you're not because of that. You know, she graduated, she did BA and MA in English. Then she had time to qualify through IS in 2004. At the same time, complete her PhD as well. So I'm really, amazed. Well, it's a pleasure and privilege to introduce Dr. Roshan Jacob. I know she has lots of guests visiting her from Lucknow, but she's managed to find time for us. She is the second lady DM of Kanpur district. First one has been Dr. Anita Bhatnagar Jain, who was closely associated with us. Dr. Jacob has been in Bareilly, Meerut, Basti, and she, I googled her and I was amazed the kind of initiative she has taken. She has created a program called Vision Kanpur, and under that she has created a multi-purpose rehabilitation center for acid victims. She has created a Save Us a service where if you have a victim, road accident victim, you can inform the authorities. She has taken a very strong stand against illegal sand mining, illegal land that has been occupied with people. She has a Facebook page, not with her pictures on it, but a platform where you can actually lodge complaints. And I looked at the data, almost 90% of the complaints that have been lodged have been closed. She's in software, she's in media, she's everywhere. So, I welcome Dr. Jacob to say a few words to us. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be with all of you this morning. I really don't like being the person who comes and lives in a huff. But then today, actually, there is no choice because we have just received the governor and he is giving his bhashan somewhere now and I have to go and see him off again at the end of his tour. But didn't want to break, and there are people planning to jump in front of the carcade and protest and, all kinds of drama happening there. But I didn't want to break my word, so, so it's a pleasure being with all of you. First, at the outset, I should say that IIT is, Kanpur, what Kanpur is known for. It is actually brand Kanpur, and we have had a very fruitful association with the director and the institution. They have associated with us on many projects, and we are looking forward to a very fruitful association in future also. I was given to understand that I should be giving some kind of a motivational talk, but I think I can see a lot of youngsters around and I should be getting the motivation from you, because when we say whole day we spend among a lot of inadequacies and insufficiencies. So it is when we see young people full of that, hope and promise for the future. So we gain some inspiration from you. So the motivation will work in the reverse, flow. But still, what I understood of today's event, it's a get-together of the prestigious alumni of this institution. And I can see some distinguished people on stage and off stage who are holding a rose each. Very nice to see everybody carrying a rose. So it's a women's gathering, and maybe something Madam Srivastava was telling me something on the bureaucratic service or how I came into the IAS or something, but I think that is an old story. It's totally past, and with so many people giving yarn on how you get into the IAS and off it and all, I think that's best not touched upon. But then maybe something on what is the need for women in service, not necessarily the bureaucracy, but in any kind of public service. Rather, I would say, what is the need to feminize or womanize the public services? What is the need to inject more of feminine values into our system? Now, for long, we have been living in this mainstream discourse, in fact, for centuries, where woman is considered one of the vulnerabilities, being the gender is one of the many different vulnerabilities that you deal with. Others, of course, being caste and religion and sexuality and so many others. So gender is one of the factors which make you deviant or the other. So in this case, the mainstream is, of course, very rational, logical, macho, masculine. And by definition, the female is considered generally to be a little hyper-emotional, judgmental, little argumentative, illogical at times, and fairer but weak. So that is the prototype. But then we have also been seeing how over decades, women have been moving into different frontiers. They have been edging into, sometimes bulldozing into, all those territories which were once considered kind of blocked, maybe that it's not fit or secure for a woman to be in. Now, literally, if I say, they have conquered the mountains, space, and the deep sea. Because we have people flying aeroplanes, women. We have them in the defense services. They have gone up into space. There are very famous women in hardcore science and astronomy. We have girls driving auto rickshaws, as bus conductors, riding trucks, you name it. Even the IIT, I think, would be a frontier, because as Director Sir was saying, we still have a long way to go in terms of the proportion of women who are in IIT, maybe in the faculty. So these frontiers are constantly expanding, and I wouldn't say it was all because they had an urge to prove that they are equal with men. No, most of it was out of sheer economic necessity, and some of it out of a great spirit to prove themselves. Now the point is, often I feel the women's discourse gets distorted because of that, a constant urge to prove oneself as same as men. That is what feminism did for many centuries, trying to show how woman is same as man in appearance, in your behavior, in your dress and everything. But that is horrifying, actually, to think that a woman is same as man. We are not. That difference, whatever difference is there, which is complementary, it is enabling and it's creative. And that difference has to be maintained, it has to be celebrated, and the whole point of being a woman is that you're not a man. And one should not be also. But then being different doesn't mean inferior. So we are different but equal. And the point is to maintain and to like I say, to celebrate the difference, but yet be equal and complementary. Now, even if we go by the stereotypes which I said earlier about being a little emotional, sensitive, not too logical, going more by the heart than by the mind and all those things, even there, if you just examine a couple of qualities that are there in women at large, then we can see what is the need for those qualities in our world around. Now, first of all, first thing I would say, all that we pay money in business schools to learn about multitasking, versatility, very disciplined and optimal use of resources at hand. All of these things, I think the world learned from women only. Now, how to make people of different character, totally opposite traits, with different goals, live together under the same roof. How to keep them together as part of the same institution, work towards one goal, but yet create a conducive environment in which each person can live up to his or her potential. That is what we call HR management. So that is something which I think most of us carry intrinsically. Again, resource management would mean material resource also, like how to make the most of every penny. Nobody has to teach a lady, especially a homemaker. She knows that. Again, time, how to coax or how to wring the maximum out of every minute, because there is no time to loaf. You know, I should, Professor Manna shouldn't take it otherwise. I'm referring to my part of the world, you know. So we have a lot of male officers, you know, who do their work, but then they work and then they have their chai, samosas and pan, and then they, you know, have their gup-shup sessions, and then, of course, they're very busy all 24 hours, most of the time on phone. We don't have that kind of time because there is another role to play, that of a caregiver and keeping your family, you know, nurturing your family. So we punch in what all we can. If we work 4 hours, but we make sure that the 4 hours deliver a punch. So that kind of time management, disciplined use of time, that is also there. So these are things that you pay money and learn in, you know, so-called business schools, and which is inherent. Again, secondly, now these days knowledge, I think, is not difficult to come by. Information is there to be had everywhere. Anyone who has an Android phone is a Gyani. And all our youngsters with, you know, all these Google boys and girls, I think there's hardly anything one can teach them. But all the knowledge in the world cannot touch the life of a single person if you don't have the ability to feel. So where we fall short normally is knowledge combined with sensitivity. Only that can transform anything. And I think whether you are a scientist or whether you are a bureaucrat, the ultimate aim is to make a change around you. And I don't even mean the macrocosm, you know, the whole world. The world runs on very solid principles, and most of us have cracked those principles. But what I'm talking about is that one person who is standing before you, the needy person, whether you are able to feel it, we call it empathy, that ability to actually put yourself in his or her shoes, and to feel what he or she is going through. When you feel that kind of sensitivity, empathy when you have, then all your knowledge, all your ability has some meaning. You're able to translate your ability and whatever you have learned into some change, however small, in the life of one person. And one person is as important as all people. You know, like John F. Kennedy said, the rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. So the point is, when you keep alive the rights of one person, you are keeping alive the rights of every person. So what I'm trying to say is that that kind of sensitivity, that kind of feeling, again, I feel it is somewhere, you know, there in women folk, by and large. Third, as caregivers, nurturing. Nurture is a very important quality in today's world. You must be seeing, you know, there's so much of factionism, different ideologies going at, you know, each other's throat. So you have two people, they can't see eye to eye. Two departments, they can't work together. The same organization, two different sections, they can't, you know, work together for any one thing as a team. So there, sociology tells us that women traditionally, whether in First Nations communities, you know, all our old societies, even in the animal kingdom, the female sex have always been survivors. Why have they been survivors? Because their survival is crucial to the survival of the group at large. So they have always tried to keep things together. So we have a world where things are falling apart. In fact, you look at anything, any part, anywhere. So women, that ability of nurture as a caregiver has the ability to keep institutions together. And I firmly believe it. Whatever small experience I have in service, in public service, I've seen how, because women are able to sacrifice short-term goals for long-term gain. So they think in larger interest, because they're used to thinking in the family scape. I think that could be the reason, because they are often thinking in the sense of a family rather than of the individual. And so when that translates into an official setup, you are thinking more in terms of the organization or the institution rather than just for yourself. So that makes a difference. And again, one more, you know, without listing all the, Professor Manna must be feeling very, you know, kind of impatient by now. I'll not stretch too long. And values. And again, values, I don't want to use that term because it has been roughshod a lot. And I think seriously that a woman has as much right to be corrupt or make money as any man. So we are not going to put a woman on any, we have had enough of that, a woman is like nature. And then like you conquer nature, like you throw garbage on her, like you ravage and ravish nature, so is woman. So these associations don't mean anything. But definitely I will say that woman comes with a certain kind of moral courage. What would moral courage mean? What I said just now, the ability to choose, to make a choice for the greater public good. Whenever a situation presents itself, she would, I think, make a choice. Inherently, the choice which comes to her is not one of short-term materialistic gain, but one for the final good, the greater good, and the common public good. So that is what I would call moral courage. And that is something, again, which we lack in society, and we need more of that in our decision-making process, whether it is bureaucracy or whether it is politics or any media or any field you look at. We need more of moral courage in our decision-making process. Now, as to what now, if I were to say what I have learned after coming, I've spent around 11 years or so in service, what I have learned. First, I have learned, like I said, that every person matters. That every single person who stands before you, if you can make a change in that, life of that person, then all the big things that we talk of, how to change the world, how to change society, how to change Kanpur, nothing is possible unless you have the ability to feel for that every single person before you. Like Swami Vivekananda said, be the change. So again, that has become a cliche. The idea is that anything that you want to see in society, any change that you want to see in society, it has to start from yourself. Any revolution that you want to bring about, you have to be the start of that revolution. And the only kind of leadership which works in the world today is leading by example. Nothing else works. Nobody wants to listen to speeches. Nobody wants to read essays on integrity, hard work, honesty, nothing. If you are what you preach, then few people will follow you, they will listen to you, they will respect your words. That's what I have learned from my service. So whatever social revolution we need to bring about in Kanpur, it has to start from all of us, from me and from you too. Second thing I've learned is not to compromise with oneself. Because like I said, if we claim to be different but equal or even superior, then your outcome should also be different but better. You cannot afford to compromise. In this, there is really no reservation in people's expectations from you or even in your expectations from yourself. Matlab Mahila Adhikari hai karke, people don't have any less expectations of a collector. In fact, they have more, if you ask me. So there is no women's reservation in that sense. They expect more from you, and therefore you have to expect more from yourselves. There is a lot of demand on time, energy, ability, everything. And that one saddening factor that you see in services, many times, women colleagues, they come late to office, sometimes they leave early. Now what does it happen? It happens because they have a family to care for. And for women with children, that is equal or maybe a bigger priority than their service, and it should be too. But then society never looks at it with that kind of a respect, that she is, managing so many things at once. There is always a very lenient, condescending, patronizing attitude कि महिला होगा तो ऐसे ही होगा, लेट आएंगे जल्दी जाएंगे बस अपना formality के लिए, but that kind of it. So that condescension, that patronage is something that has to go, and that can go only when all of us, of course, families are there, but we also, those of us who can, should put in our best. So that our output, if anything, if not, it should be superior, at least equal. And if I talk of the service, I have a lot of things to say. It's just that I'm racing against time, that's why I would have loved to spend some more time here. But if you look in the work environment, like in our place, so many times we go for a meeting, there is no washroom for women. Simple thing, but really important. We talk of equality, but when it comes to the brass tacks, there are no creches in any government office. A DM, it's okay, because we have an establishment to take care of our needs. But then every woman, every babu in my office, every female clerk in my office doesn't have that kind of an institution. But there are no creches in any government office. There are no washrooms There are no entertainment areas, no places where they can sit and have a cup of tea together, no canteen which is woman friendly. So while we talk of equality, we still have a long way to go in feminizing our work environments, in gender sensitizing the environments where we work in. Forget about public places. We are not even discussing, bus stations or, whatever. So more women in service is also required to make the service and our environment more women friendly and to sensitize it to the issues of gender. So I have nothing more to say, and like I said, it's a pleasure being with all of you. We get to learn from you all, and I'm sure that the district will benefit from your knowledge. Some of you, I'm sure, would be from Kanpur, though your alumni, some must have come from outside. And I will just finish with that one favorite sentence of mine from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the first sentence of the preamble. It says that to recognize the inherent dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of every member of the human family. And we should underline that every member of the human family, male, female, everyone, is the foundation of justice, peace, and freedom in this world. So whatever we are doing, you, all of us put together, our aim is to make our society a fairer, a more just, and a more peaceful place to stay in. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jacob. That was very inspiring, and I'm sure all of us will benefit from what you have said. And we do look forward to working with you, and in whatever ways we can. I would now introduce our next speaker. And I forgot to mention that you are a poet also. Okay, now I'll introduce our next speaker, Dr. H. Alumni Bhatnagar.
My name, official name is H. Ila. My maiden name was Ila Bhatnagar. So you are adding Bhatnagar, but that's very short name. H is my husband's family name, Ila is my first name.
And what is this knee?
No, no.
I'll let you explain when you stand here.
Just
okay, all right.
Present name.
All right, so...
Bhatnagar was my maiden name, Ila Bhatnagar.
All right. So she was born in Mathura, and she says that her father has been her first inspiration in life, who insisted on perseverance and perfectionism. Her schooling happened in Muradabad, Gorakhpur, and her father always expected her to stand first in the class. And I was remembering, हम जहाँ खड़े होते हैं, line वहीं से शुरू होती है. So I said, okay, wherever she stands, that's the person who stood first in the class. All right. She appeared in pre-medical test for UP State in 1961. And she topped the examination, first time any woman candidate has done so. She came to KGMC, King George Medical College, Lucknow. She stayed there for a week, and then she went back to Gorakhpur to complete her BSc. Till date, she is wondering what made her leave that place, but she has no regrets. At some point in time, she also realized that maybe she was scared that she'll have to study for a long time to become a doctor. And look, she's still studying, she's still in education institute. Okay, so then she also came to Kanpur. She came in Kanpur in 1962 when her father was transferred. She did her MSc from DAV College. Then she was going to go to Allahabad University for further education, but then she got a call from IIT Kanpur. And she came for the interview, and she was interviewed by Professor C.N. Rao, P.T. Narasimhan, M.V. George, and M.S. Muthana. I hear these names and I said, okay, right, all right. And she said she was very scared, but I doubt. And she was, the panel was reluctant to give her admission because she didn't study mathematics at the 12th level. But Professor C.N. Rao suggested that she be allowed the admission and she should do some extra mathematics for chemists, which she did. She would have done, I believe. Anyway, then she worked here and she was almost dreaming of becoming next Madame Curie, and I think she has. All right. So she is the first woman to get a PhD from IIT Kanpur, graduating in 1968. Then she went to Purdue University for a short time. Then she worked at CDRI, Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow. Then she married in 1971. I'm not sure how to say her husband's name. Junjappa, is that right? H. Junjappa. And since then, they have, this is like a South and North marriage. And since then, they have worked always together. And in her chemistry circle, Ila Junjappa is better known than Ila or Junjappa alone. Then they joined Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, stayed there for a long time. And her husband has been a great support, that's what she says. He's nurtured and made sure that she becomes an independent person, and she's been, happy. Okay, so after spending 18 years in Nehu, she returned to IIT Kanpur as a professor, and she was here from 1977 to 1995. And the way we work in
2006.
That's the second, okay, so this date is wrong. And the way we worked, I googled her on IIT Kanpur, I tried to find her on our IITK website, and they're still listing her happily there with her phone number and office address as well. I tried calling that phone number, it did not work. Right, so you are here from 1995 to 2007. All right. She has graduated 60 PhD students. And she is thankful to all those students who have helped me sustain top career. Would I like to do anything differently? I would like you to answer that question. But the sketch that I got, it has the title, With No Regrets. With those words, I invite you to deliver the address.
Thank you, MS Bansal. This is an extract she has taken from a book, Leelavati's Daughter, Indian Academy of Science has brought about 4-5 years back. They had chosen few scientists, women in science category, and they asked us to write small biographical sketch. So she has spoken from that. But, already the earlier speaker told people don't want to listen lectures and all, and I will just, because I'm supposed to speak, I'll speak just 10-15 minutes. You have heard enough. I will better take you, because IIT Kanpur is at my heart since I joined it. My father settled in Kanpur. I will take you back 50 years back. I joined this institute 1964 as a young girl of 20 years. Now I'm 70. This year I'll be 71. And that changed whole of my life, I will say. So I think all of you who are alumni who are present, you should be proud that you are a IITK alumni. And I'll give you one instance. I went to Gordon Conference. I think it was 2003, twice I attended. Another I attended 2008. That time they had made a movie on IITs or IITK. So when they saw that I am from IIT Kanpur, they told you need not put your name. Everybody knows IITK. So IITK has become a brand actually. Of course, I joined from IDV college. There we were mugging up notes, working hard and all. But here we have to, very different atmosphere, and Sushma knows. Sushma joined 2 years before me. That time, already it has moved to main campus. We were taking buses from HPTI, taking a rickshaw. Sometimes my father will leave me on bicycle, You cannot imagine those things. And rickshaw from this thing home, go to HPTI, then Rawatpur bus stand, take a bus. But I am very proud. I used to take 7:20 bus and reach here 7:30. and worked till 6:30. And I mean, those were the days. And even young professors like Professor Siena Rao, and then Professor George, Professor P.T. Narasimhan is dead, Professor Ranganathan, being with them, they expose us to most, I mean, coming fresh from US, they expose us to best of chemistry side, most modern chemistry. And, working hard with them and all those things, and not only this, seminars are there, we were asked to post questions. I mean, it helped us, it developed so much confidence. By the time you pass out, the kind of atmosphere here is, by the time you passed out, you are filled with confidence, and you feel any part of the world you can go and work. So that kind of confidence IIT Kanpur has given actually. And I was lucky to have a second inning here. From 1995, I joined end of 1995 as a professor, and I retired in end of 2006, and sometimes 2007 I left. And that was again 11 nostalgic years as a faculty member. I mean, if you say, oh, you are a professor at IIT Kanpur, now if I say I retired, that is good enough. I mean, this itself is a brand. And training PhD students and then giving courses here, I had a very good time. And I was lucky enough, because we decided to settle in Bangalore. My husband is from Karnataka, and I was lucky. Professor Siena Rao, who was responsible, I started my career from this institute. I retired from this institute. Professor Siena Rao has started a very nice state-of-art research institute, Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Research. So I told him that I have come here. He told, you wait when we start chemistry. So after a couple of years when start chemistry, he told, now you can come. And you are from IIT, you have to give a course from my side. Then I told, sir, you give me a small research lab. And he was kind enough. I have a 5-6 PhD student registered under me, and I'm still continuing research. Whenever you come to Bangalore, please let me know and visit that institute. He has built that institute very patient. He is now Bharat Ratna, and his inspiration, 81, he is traveling all the time, writing 35 papers. He is 10 years elder to me and made all our life hell that we have to also work hard. So coming to, this is the IIT life here. At least IIT has given to me so much, and I am very thankful to IIT Kanpur to organize the IIT Kanpur Women Alumni Convention. Although very few women are attending, I am seeing only 35-40, maybe the notice is short, but maybe it will take a broader expansion in the coming years. And so many things, most of the things she has already, Mrs. Jacob has already told, and she also told people don't like to listen. So I welcome you here, and I think every IIT woman alumni has her or his own story. So I will be happy if they tell about, I also have many stories, but see, so much time we have already taken, and I am also supposed to take part in panel discussion. So I have kept many points, because this was told to me yesterday evening. So I told I will better participate in panel discussion more elaborately. There are many topics which have not been covered, because when we talk of women, we forgot about 70% women who are living a life, very sad life in villages and all, and I have seen. And we have to address those social problems through our technology. That's what I feel. We are the few lucky ones who come from educated families and all, and how to bring them to this, and that is a big problem. So I finish here only, I don't take time, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Echila. We look forward to hearing you more during the panel discussion. Now I invite all of us to the tea that's waiting outside. Thank you very much.
We understand what several have just arrived at Green State 8 and all. Let's have all, and we can begin the panel discussion with a keynote address by Dr. Sushma. Otherwise, we will have a
me and my husband Kashmir. We started Arun Engineering College in Lucknow with 22 students and 3 faculties. And by God's grace, we have now our own university college, which has something like 50,000 students. And we are dealing with something like 1,200 people in teaching and non-teaching staff. In these 16 years span, we floated 2 software companies and a public school, and we also run some CSR initiatives. So I'm based in Lucknow.
I'm Sharmishta Mitra. I joined as Sharmishta Chakravarti when I was a student in the MSc 2-year statistics program, passed in 91. After a brief stint of 6 months in ISI, I joined back as a PhD student here, completed in 96. After submitting thesis, I joined a career in the Reserve Bank of India in the Department of Statistical Analysis and Computer Services. I worked there for 8 long years. But my husband, my classmate from IIT, he was already a professor in IIT Bombay there, and he was desperate to join back his alma mater. So I had to follow suit. I gave myself 2 years time as a visiting faculty here first, because after a long gap of 8 years, I was not sure whether I'd be able to cope myself in the academia once again. But then that was 2005. In 2007, I got inducted into the system as assistant professor, and now I am associate professor in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics here in IIT.
I came to this campus in 1989 when my son was 2 years old and never left this campus. I did this and that for a while and joined PhD program in 94. Graduated in 97 from Computer Science Department, and by then IME department had started the MBA program, so they hired me, and it was very lucky for me that I didn't have to go hunting for a job, and since then I have been on this campus.
Hello everybody, I'm Vinita Srivastav, and I came to the campus in 85. I did my 2 years masters in chemistry and I passed out in 87. And then again I did my came back for doing my postdoctoral in chemistry in 92. Again I was here for 2 years. So that makes it practically 4 years on the campus. But 2 years I was in TH. Well, down the line, I have really no connection with chemistry, my roots. And I took a very different profession. I am now means for the last 20 years I'm in journalism, and currently for the last 10 years I am in the political bureau of Hindustan Times Delhi, and I've been covering the HRD ministry, science and technology space. I covered the Mangalyaan mission. I was a very active part of that mission. So I don't know, somehow I feel my stint in IIT has given me a very strong foundation for doing something different, because that was really not what I had thought. When I was here on the campus, my parents would just think of either marrying me off. And another thing, yes, I met my husband here, so this campus has another, very nostalgic feeling for me. And so what I mean to say is, I am doing something different, but IIT, being in IIT, the 2-year, stringent kind of environment where I led, and the lab and all, it helped me a lot in doing something different. I could never, have thought of, going into writing and something very diverse from what I was doing. But yes, I think I owe a lot to this institute for what I am right now. Thank you.
Just before starting, just a small interruption from me. We have around 40 alumnus here, so I request to be very brief. I am giving you a task. If we can finish it in 20 minutes, else the tea will be really cold. So, we are not allowed to have food stuff here. So,
yeah, please go ahead.
Please go. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
I'll be very brief. I'm Satya, and PhD program for chemistry and organic chemistry. And when I left this place in 77, joined cultivation of science in Kolkata, and I have retired from there now. And that's it.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Madhu Khanna. I've done masters in tech from here in 2000.
I passed out in 2001, 1990 to 2001. And since then I've been working in business intelligence and digital warehousing in Bangalore in different organizations. And it was my dream to study in IIT. I was from Kanpur only, so as a kid I always used to learn, and I still owe a lot.
My name is Jyoti Yadav, and I think I have the earliest connection with IIT Kanpur since I was born here. And so I was born here, then I studied, I did my MSc in chemistry. Later on I went on to do my PhD. My parents lived here for a very long time. I kept coming. My mother finally retired in 2007, and I came for a few conferences after that. And so this visit is after a year-long break. I was in US and Japan and several countries. Finally, I returned back to join CSIR, and I'm a scientist at Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, which is in Delhi.
I am Vaishnavi Bhawani. I did my MTech and PhD in electrical engineering from here, and a brief stint abroad for postdoc at MIT. I joined IIT Delhi as faculty. I am still there.
I am Kia Paramvi, actually Kia Soon. I am Shashwati's batch. I did MSc here, came here in 69. Left finally after PhD in 78. I'm a physicist.
What was the subject?
Physics. Dr. Tiwari was there. So I am now teaching after various, in fact, very long postdoctoral stints. I ended up in Punjab University, Chandigarh, where I am still. My career is not as varied as most of you, but after retirement, me and my husband will work for an NGO which works for popularization of science.
And I would like to say one more thing. As you all know that I was the first girl student to enter IIT, I would like to inform you that we are the first alumni couple on the campus. I got my husband also from this place. We are the first alumni couple. Because they were telling me this, so I thought I should also mention.
Next row.
Hello everyone, I'm Smriti Gupta. I did my MTech in July 2014 in Environmental Engineering and Management, and I'm currently working as an assistant professor in Department of Civil Engineering, Sri Ram Swarup Memorial University, Lucknow.
Hi everyone, I'm Padmuja. Here's a change now. I'm from IIT BHU, 2004 batch from Ceramic Engineering Department. I work for various companies, and now I have my own startup. I'm struggling for the same.
Hi all, I'm IIT Delhi alumni, and my name is Amita Nair. And I did my MTech from IIT Delhi in 99 in textile department, and under guidance of late Pushpa Bajaj. He was being with us. And after that, I did stint with textile companies for 3 years in management, and then now I'm head director and head India operations of Viju. We are into analytics and big data, so I'm handling the Indian team. We have a US company.
Hello everybody, I'm Shweta. I joined IIT in 1988 as part of BTech Mechanical Engineering, graduated in 92. And I firmly believe that IIT gave me that huge platform which allowed me to go out into the world and do just about anything. So I've really experimented along the years. I joined the Tata Group, so that was a corporate stint, and then I went on to become an entrepreneur. Moved to the US, studied a bit, came back to Singapore, lectured at Singapore Institute of Management in IT, and then have now gone back to being an entrepreneur and an academia, and I do online classes and contact classes for IB students. I think it's been a phenomenal, and all through this journey I figured that even when you're in the US or Singapore, which is where I've lived, IIT Kanpur is a huge brand name. I think that walks before you walk into a room. and I'm really, really proud to be an IIT. Thank you very much.
Aparna Dhar, and in fact Shashwati and Priya would remember me. They were my seniors, they were doing their PhD here. I did my 5-year MSc from 75 to 80. I graduated in 80. And yeah, it was very nice. I remember it's so wonderful to see them all here now. Then I went to do my PhD in the US. I did my PhD in Stony Brook. And as destiny happened that I got a job here and I came back right here in 89 to teach here. And I've just completed teaching here for 25 years. I'd like to say that I'm so thankful to IIT Kanpur, first to my teachers, that I just keep remembering them all the time, the kind of nurture they gave us. And then when I joined here as a teacher, then I gave the same kind of nurture back to the students. And the students have been so appreciative. I've received 24 letters of appreciation in my 25 years here. So I think it's a wonderful culture, and they haven't, that I'm a woman doesn't seem to have made any difference to them. And I'm very grateful for the response that I've received from everyone.
I'm Gupta Thakur. I'm professor in NIT Bhopal and I did my MTech from 1993 to 95. And this 2-year duration, it gave me so much confidence that I know everything about electrical engineering, my power electronics area.
I'm Sukarma Rani Thareja. I was a PhD student here from 1981 to 1986. Then I did postdoc here in the same department for 3 years. Presently, I am teaching in Christchurch College as assistant professor.
I started my PhD in 2008 and finished in 2014. So I came here in 2003, got admission in 2008. Now I am project scientist with Professor Sandeep Gandhi.
Joined the Department of Mechanical Engineering in 1987 and did my MTech in Electrical Engineering Department, and now I am Principal Research Engineer at Center for Mechatronics. And I joined the government of IIT Kanpur.
I joined PhD in Chemistry Department. Now I am Veena Singh working in the Chemistry Department of IIT.
He got a job here in 2003. So eventually I cleared CSR and UGC exam, then got into PhD program under the V. Chandrasekhar in chemistry department. Finished my PhD in 2010 December, submitted, and after that I thought I had enough of IIT Kanpur. Then got out of the city, but now I'm realizing not outside of the city. So I'm doing work as an assistant professor at Drama University nearby and searching for a better job. So anybody is there? Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. My name is Manjulata Rao and I've been a student, PhD student in the Department of Chemistry. From the year 1999, I graduated in 2004. And incidentally, I've also been a student of Madam Ila in Nehu in Northeastern University. So our association has been from then. And I'm back on campus from the year 2009. My husband is a professor in mathematics department here. And for the past 4 years, I've been a homemaker.
I'm very big shift. I came to the campus in 1994 as my husband joined me as a faculty. I did my MPhil in 1990 and then I left my career for 10 years and then restarted my career as assistant professor at Christchurch College. And then I thought of doing PhD from here, so I took admission as part-time student in the Department of HSS and recently completed my PhD in social sciences and I'm still a professor in Christchurch College.
Hello, my name is Nalini and I did my PhD in HSS department in 2012 with a specialization in women in organizations and business. And currently I'm
program at Humanities and Social Sciences Department. While I was doing my PhD, I got married and my child was born in 95 December. And I finished my PhD, submitted in 97 December, got my provisionary doctorate in October 98, 99 convocation. Me and Veena Bansal were sitting together and getting the doctorate. I always thought my daughter was my first PhD, Sanjeevani. She was in first year English honors. And her son, Shreyansh, I got them together. And my PhD to be my baby. And I think it was a wonderful experience, and whatever I've learned, I think I'm using it. And as a teacher, it's really nice to share things with you. Thank you so much. It's nice.
I was also born and brought up in IT campus. My father was a professor in HSS department. I did my MSc and then PhD from here in mathematics department. At the moment, I'm in Kanpur University Engineering College as an associate professor. I'm working at HPTI as associate professor in electronics engineering department. I did my PhD, part-time PhD from IT Kanpur from 2001 to 2008.
So I think that's all.
So my name is Reena. Two things I want to say before I tell about that. I'm the third person here who was born in IT campus campus. And those who got here to give up. I am BTech 2004 metallurgy. I worked with McKinsey and Company. And just after IT, I worked for ITC for 3 years. Then I went to ISP and joined McKinsey and Company. Anyone else?
So anyway, so thank you very much, and you are all jewels in the crown of IIT Kanpur. Please stay in touch with us and keep giving us better ideas how we can take the issue forward. Thank you very
That car will make a second round, not to worry about that. So, Vanita is busy. Actually, she worked till 2:30 last night.
I didn't pay the car charges also. He said that, madam, आप चाहिए बाद में हाँ वो सब हम लोग
मतलब we will. Yeah. So
before I said
okay. Miss Pooja Agarwal.
I got my card.
आप आ जाइए.
Thank you so much.
Because we'll be coming outside after.
Okay.
No, there is a program. It's a sheet of paper.
As a schedule, yeah.
For this function.
Schedule.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm fine actually.
Okay, I've heard your name
Yeah,
many
I
times.
also know, I never met you, no?
Yeah, I've never met you. Just because he said Mrs. Shashwati, then I just thought, oh yeah, that's rings a bell.
Alone?
I came with my daughters.
Okay.
Murthy is, he has gone to Chandigarh.
Okay.
So he'll be back on the 12th. So they wanted my daughter to come and I guess.
so I just came along with them. Good, I got an opportunity.
Yeah, to get yourself introduced. Yeah, I'm so happy to see you. I have never seen you.
Yeah, right. I think we will have a photograph for
we
memory.
have a photograph for memory.